Hey everybody, today we are out in St. George, Hercon. It's right outside of Zion basically, and I'm gonna just talk a little bit about Zion and where we stayed and everything, and our trip to Zion. This behind me, this is a KOA in St. George, Hercon. It's not gonna be the main feature of the video, but you can see it's a KOA. Behind me, it's just pretty standard. KOAs come in 3 different levels. If you're not familiar with KOAs, the lowest tier is Journey. This is a Journey. Journeys are designed to be places that you spend like overnight. And then the holidays, like the next level of the KOA, that's where you spend like a holiday weekend. Typically, they have more amenities. And then the KOA Resort is a top tier, which has like all the crazy stuff that's usually located somewhere really kind of fantastic. So it's hard to kind of, unless you understand that, you don't understand that there's 3 different levels of KOAs, like comparing like say Hilton brands and stuff when you're looking at like their lowest tier hotel to their highest tier hotel. Obviously, you know, just because it says Hilton doesn't mean that like it's exactly the same at every single one of their tiers of hotels. So anyway, KOA, pretty standard looking, gravel, and it's near highway. There's a little bit of road noise. There are some fantastic views, although it's a little cloudy, like, why are we here? First off, so we're here because it seemed like it was really convenient to book this place because it's a KOA, and it's also near St. George, which is a pretty big city, and we work during the week, obviously, and not, you know, we have the Starlink obviously that works at a lot of places, but we do like having our AT&T and T-Mobile and everything working also. So that was why we selected this location, because usually we pick locations, believe it or not, based on cellular availability. Like that's usually like the number one thing that makes us pick like one campground over another when we're doing our booking. So with that said, to get from here to Zion, if you're decided to stay here for some reason, it's almost an hour. Okay, and I can tell you, when you drive to Zion, there are campgrounds like left and right everywhere you look, and there are quite a few really nice looking campgrounds with full hookups and fifth wheels and motorhomes and everything. There's even one that's like right in, I think it's like Springdale is the name of the city, which is like right at the very like entrance of a Zion National Park. So, you know, if this is going to be your like little weekend out, then go stay in Springdale or whatever. Stay right in the heart of Zion. If you full-time like us, then maybe you appreciate being a little bit closer to the grocery stores and Best Buys and that kind of stuff. That's totally up to you on your decision when you decide where you're going to stay at the national park. Now, our experience at the national park, we didn't actually spend that much time at the national park, believe it or not, but I'm going to point out a few things. The parking lot is very limited at the national park, so just completely expect that when you go there, you're probably going to park in Springdale, which is a city that is like very close. Like it's like 1 mile away from Zion, very close. There are, I think, 9 bus stops that are free bus stops that are on the main road that take you into Zion. There's a gigantic sign, I think, at like bus stop number 8, which is 8 stops away from the entrance, that will tell you if the parking lot's full. And basically, you just park near one of these stops and you get on. Now, the buses get really full really fast. Okay, so here's like the pro tip for you. You basically want to stay at stop 8 or 9, really far away from the park. So then when the bus comes around, you jump on it, it's empty. Like that's the general idea. If for whatever reason you park at like stop number 2 and you don't feel like walking to the park, because you can walk to the park, they have signs up that tell you how far it will take to walk or ride your bike up there. If you decide to park at stop 2 or stop 3, most likely the bus will be full every single time it comes by. So how do you ride the bus then, right? That's the trick. How do you ride the bus to Zion? You go to the other side of the road. Like seriously, you go to the other side of the road. So you jump on the bus while it's heading away from Zion. So then you know it'll be empty when it's heading away from Zion, and it takes an extra 5 minutes, whatever, to get to Zion. But at least you're getting on an empty bus, and then when it'll go to stop 8, and then it'll start filling up on its way. If you try to get on the bus at like stop 2 or 3 or whatever on the way in, like they're just going to pass you, and you're never going to get on the bus. It's going to suck. So anyway, that was our experience with the bus. So then when you get into Zion itself, you basically have like 2 choices. If you were to drive in, let's say, you can go to the parking lot, visitor center, and then they have this scenic bus thing that like super busy. It felt like kind of like Space Mountain to get in line. Really, really ridiculous line to get in, and it's kind of like a city bus, not like a tourist thing, to get into the scenic area. Now, there's quite a few, like to me, scenic things that you can see just by driving through the park, which is what we did. We didn't go like on a little like 2-hour stand in line to get on a city bus thing on the inside of the park, so we kind of skipped that a little bit. But what we did instead, which was really, really, really super cool, is we went to Slot Canyon. So there's this company out here called Roam, and they do side-by-sides, and they do like a lot of different things in the area, but the Slot Canyon thing, excellent. Okay, so to get to Slot Canyon, first off, from my understanding, it's locked behind a bunch of private property. Okay, so you can't just like go out there basically just to see it without trespassing. So how do you get out there without trespassing? You go to somebody like Rome, who's already made agreements and have leases with the property owners out there to get access to the Slot Canyon. And then all you do is you just go out with them, and it's fairly inexpensive. I want to say we paid maybe like $200. And we had this fantastic time. They took us out to Lower Slot Canyon, Upper Slot Canyon in a side-by-side. It was semi-private. There was meant to be 2 other people with us, so it would have been like 4 of us, like me and Kimberly, and then 2 other random people. But other 2 people didn't show up, so it turned into a private tour. But even when we got out there was another side-by-side out there with like a couple other people, so there was a total of like 6 of us, like in this like totally freaking awesome cavern. You can see it on the screen and everything. And you know, you with the walk through, you put your hands on the side of the wall if you really want to. Just so cool. It's like, to me, the Slot Canyon was cooler than Zion. Okay, that's how cool the thing was at Slot Canyon. However, unfortunately for us, the Slot Canyon is on the other side of Zion. So we had to drive like the hour to get to Zion. Then we did some Zion stuff. And then from Zion, we spent like almost another hour to get to Slot Canyon. So realistically, we probably should have camped on the other side of Zion, between Zion and Slot Canyon. Now, there is a tunnel inside of Zion, just to tell you about. The tunnel is very narrow and very short. And you have to pay extra if you have like a tall vehicle, like a SUV, like a motorhome or whatever, that you want to try to run through it. There are height restrictions, but even if you barely fit or whatever, you pay a little bit extra, and you can drive straight down the center, and they'll stop all the traffic, so you can just drive straight down the center of the tunnel to get through. So just be very mindful and aware of the tunnel in Zion to get over there. But that is mainly like what I wanted to share with you guys, and what we kind of realized with our trip out here to Zion. There is side-by-sides and all kinds of crazy stuff out here to do. It's not just Zion. Biking is like a big thing out here. Now, if I was to plan out like a trip to Zion personally, and I was gonna, like, now that I've been here already once, my recommendation would be e-bikes. Like, that would totally be my recommendation. Go out there, go to Springdale, park your truck, get out some e-bikes or whatever, and then just e-bike into the park, and then you can e-bike up the little trails, and they even have a scenic like e-bike tour, and it would be super kind of relaxing and chill, and then you don't have to go through the Space Mountain line with the buses and all that kind of crap, and you can do that at your own pace. Like, that's what I would recommend, and that's probably what we would do next time if we come back to Zion. I don't know if Zion is going to be on like next year's trip or the following years. I don't know. Originally, we were planning on doing Zion and Bryce at the same time, and what we realized were those 2 national parks are actually pretty far apart. So this week we are at Zion, and then next week we will be at Bryce, and we'll post a video for you guys telling you about our trip to Bryce. So hopefully this helps somebody out that is interested in either the St. George KOA or our feedback on Zion or Slot Canyon.